I guess I didn't tighten that one up enough. That was a foul. Hi guys, another garage video today. So tell me what you think about these garage videos, because I know some people are probably like, no man, I want to see riding videos and things like that. But I don't know, I'm not out riding. Well, I am. I'm out riding almost every day. I don't record everything. But there is so much to be done behind the scenes, and I find that sometimes it's just easier for me to get out here when I'm tinkering and throw on the camera and I can talk with you a little bit, show you some of the things I'm doing. Some of the things are boring, right? And some of these videos get really long, and I really don't have time to trim and edit and cut these things down to there's something kind of short when all I'm doing is just kind of tinkering around and doing various projects. So I think I'm going to start just labeling these garage day videos or something, so hey, it could be a long video and just might be something good, may not be anything at all. But tell me what you think if you want those garage day videos. So a couple of things I want to tackle this morning. I took the fifth wheel Torrent out yesterday for a ride. So my buddy Ron down the street here came over, he grabbed a bike, and we went riding, and I rode this. And I do exceed the weight capacity, but I rode it for a longer distance, and doggone it, the thing performs well. And so, other than, I was leaning over the whole time because the handlebars are pretty low, but the torque sensor is so nice on this thing, and it performs so well. I'm sitting here thinking, I exceed the weight limit, but as long as I'm not out there like, trying to take a jump or something, right? Getting rough with it. I'm just cruising around in the streets. It'll probably be fine. So because of that, I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and add a stem riser up here to bring up those handlebars. And I went ahead and changed out the seat. Now right now I've got this seat that came with the Truxus Explorer. And I've got that on there because that's the only one that I have that was the right size post. Everything else I had, the post doesn't fit, so can't lock it in. So I got that up there temporarily because that other seat is just terrible. It looks sharp, right? It was kind of cool and everything, stylish, whatever. But I don't know if Fifth Wheel actually tested this seat out, before they decided to go with this seat, or if they just pulled it out of the catalog. But it's a terrible seat. So I went ahead and swapped it out. So right now it says Truxus on here. Which is fine, but I might change that out. So I've got a couple of different stems over here, and I need to figure out which one is going to work. And that one's this is the shortest one. So I like these things to be up kind of tall, and this is pretty low. I'm thinking I'm going to put this longer one on it right here. So let's see if we can make this work. So let's pull out this little rubber stopper right here. Expose that. And find some tools. There we go, that one works. So I'm going to take that screw out. Take that cap off. And then we got to loosen up the handlebars. Take them off. Whenever you do this, something else you always want to be aware of and keep an eye on is how much wiring you have. I don't have a lot of wiring, but I think I'll be able to extend this up further, make it a more comfortable ride. Whew. I don't know, what's the tightest one right here? Yeah, so what is that? That's the brake. So the hydraulic brake might give me some trouble. So, but that's doable. We can make that work. Because what I can do, I can go ahead and unwrap that. Give myself a little more room over here on that hydraulic brake line. So let's just unwrap this a little bit. We'll come back to that later. See, gives me a little extra to work with. Let's dangle that right there precariously. these guys are Suzuki. I don't care for this brand so much, but I still had one, so I want to get it used up. I got another brand now that I like that doesn't have anything on it, it's just solid black. And no extra branding or anything. Is that going to work? It's not even going to come close to working. And when we start moving that tire around, it might be a little tall. Didn't I say that one was shorter? So we're going to go with this one. So take that one. Oh, should have known that was going to happen. Dummy. You big dummy. Oh. There are all these rings back on there. Uh-oh. That ring came with the bike. That ring did too, because they're different colors slightly. These rings were... I think that ring was on here. What about that one? I think that was on the bike. So we're going to stick this back in here. So let's try this one. Just a moment ago, as I was opening up the garage door, I saw my neighbor Nicole, who was in that house over there with the garage door open. I saw her coming down the street, zoom, on the fifth wheel Thunder 1FT that she now owns. So that was kind of cool. See her buzzing down the street. I haven't talked to her much, but she seems to, last time I talked to her, she was just loving it. Loving it, loving it, loving it. Alright, now let's see. A little bit shorter. Can we make that work? I think we can make that work. Stretch everything a little bit. What am I stretching the most? That brake line. Let's give ourselves a little more slack. Undo that wire cable, wire wrap. Ooh. Yikes. I think that's a different size. That's a different size. Let's loosen this up. I don't want to risk doing bad things to the brake line. Okay, so that's on there. Now it's not quite so tight. Question is, now when you're driving along and turning, the wheel's going to turn with it. We're going to be fine. We're fine. We're good, people. This, does it reach now? Yes, it does reach. It reaches the little insert down there, the star, what's it called, star nut. The only thing is, this handlebar is only, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'm going with it. Alright, so let's see if we can tighten it down. Yeah. Yeah, now we're getting there. So, and that relieved a little pressure on that line too, so I think we'll be okay there. Oh, I didn't take off the little rubber cap on this side. I'm going to do that so I can get to the screw, and I just dropped it. I'll need that here in a few minutes. Where's my, is it this one? I'm not going to tighten that up too much yet until we get things aligned. It's easier maybe to straddle it a little bit. So everything is straight. This top screw here is a pain in the butt because I can't spin it without hitting the handlebars, so I gotta take it like this. Okay, we're not gonna go too tight with it yet. Let's see what things are looking like. I think my handlebars are still off. Where are you at, Toby? Make sure we don't run over Toby Tots. Oh, I gotta spin that brakes. There we go. Pedal rather. I think it's close. the only way to know for sure now. I'll take it for a little spin. So I'm going to tighten these down a little bit so it doesn't move. Oops, wrong way. I'll tighten those down some more when we're done, but let's go ahead and just see what it looks like when we're driving down the road. I'm going to get tangled up in Toby's tether here. Look out, dude. Whoa. I guess I didn't tighten that one up enough. That was a foul. Well, it's pretty tight, but it wasn't tight enough. That's okay. Let's see here. Yeah. Oh my gosh, so hard to tell. Oh, I don't like that at all either. Okay, we're gonna start all over. Loosen. 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 You know, I don't think I'm OCD. I'm typically not too OCD about stuff, but when these screws are cockeyed with these ones up here, I do like it to be somewhat straight looking. It doesn't have to be perfect or anything, but so that's looking pretty good. Now I just got to get the tire lined up. See, it's going to be off a little bit every time I make an adjustment to the tire. These are going to be off. Don't have to be exact, just closer. Go. I've always been more of a nerd than I am a mechanic, and my father was a mechanic. He always tried to teach me stuff, and it's like, well, this doesn't interest me. I don't want to learn this stuff. Oh, yeah, that's probably a disappointment. I don't know. I don't think so, but he'd be happy with me today. All right. Everything's tightened down pretty good now. Don't think we're going to have any more issues with the tire wiggle jiggling. How long have you guys been looking at my fat stomach? Somebody tell me. Richard, we're looking at your fat stomach. When are you going to do something about that? Well, the goal is, now that I have two bikes that are torque sensors, start riding them more. So I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. I was having a nice little ride yesterday with my buddy Ron. We had a long conversation about the Magicycle Deer. Because he loves that bike. Oh my goodness, he loves that bike. And I do too. You know I do. Oh my goodness, I talk about it all the time. But now that I've had two bikes with torque sensors, I'm really digging it. And the Magicycle Deer doesn't have torque sensors. So what does that mean? Does that mean that I'm going to be on the lookout for a different bike for my personal use? Here's the thing. I think my justification is yes, I need the exercise. Good morning. How are you? All right. Can you cut mine when you're done? It's starting to get a little long. All right. I appreciate it. Okay, let's just get going down the street a little bit faster here. So anyway, yeah, I'm thinking that's still off. Look at that. Now that you're moving a little bit, it feels like it's off. It looks, of course, it'd be helpful if the road was straight where I could ride straight. I don't have a road with a line on it that I can monkey with. It just looks off to me. I think it is. You know, sometimes I've had them to be just a little bit off, but I couldn't really tell until I was actually watching the video. And then I could tell that it was off. I guess, you know, comparing the handlebars to the bottom of the screen, you know, you could tell that everything was cockeyed. So maybe I should use this camera. Okay, so if I'm looking at the camera, But see, sometimes the camera's crooked on my chest. That doesn't help me. I don't know. Okay, you know what? We're going to go with it. We're just going to go with it for now. So, back to my conversation for the second or third time. Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe as much as I like the Magicycle deer, it'd be great to find something that was a similar setup. You know, dual suspension frame, at least, you know, the 20 amp hour battery. You know, it's kind of a smaller size because I like that, because I like it for trail riding and stuff. It's smaller, but have a torque sensor. And I think, you know, my justification is my health. Because, you know, I thought I'd be losing a little more weight with all the riding that I do, but everything's cadence sensor, and it's so easy just to kind of cruise along, and you're enjoying life, but you're not getting a whole lot of exercise. Whereas with a torque sensor, you're going to get exercise. You have to pedal. So I'm just kicking around the idea. If I find something similar to the Magicycle deer that's a torque sensor, then I might have to pursue it. I may have to sell a couple of bikes to be able to afford it or something, but I'll figure out a way. But if anybody knows of a 20-inch dual suspension, long range, like large battery, that has a torque sensor, let me know. Because there's just not a lot out there. Everything's cadence. And torque sensors are still just kind of coming along. So let me know, please, so I can go and check it out. And I don't care what the name brand is. It can be a newer company, some off-brand, just as long as they have good components, you know. All right, so this handlebar stem is a lot better now. Raised it up. How far do we raise that? 4 inches or something? So I can comfortably ride on it without leaning over. I like that. So therefore, I will start riding this more often, even though I exceed the weight limit. I'm going to ride this for a while because I'm going to see what kind of weight loss I can get just riding this. This seat isn't too bad. I'm not going to replace it with my big old comfy seat probably. I'll just probably stick with this one for now. It wasn't too bad. So that is that. So hey, there's other projects I'm going to be working on, but to keep this video from being 2 hours, 3 hours long, I'm going to cut it off here. So if you have any questions about what I just did in our conversation just now, drop them down below and I'll get back to you. I always try to. And in the meantime, you guys be safe until the next video.